What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel where the Winnipeg Jets pick up a very important win here against the Arizona Coyotes by the score of 2-1. You know, it could have been a lot worse for Arizona. The Jets could have won this game probably 5-1 if they could have had, some better luck on the power play. But the power play continues to be an issue. But nonetheless, Jets come away with a big 2 points in a game that they very much needed. I think it was like the last 3 games that I've attended, the Jets have just totally laid an egg. So it was nice to see, with me in the building today, that they were able to hold on to this one. They had a fantastic first period, and we're going to, jump into it in just a second. But if you haven't already, of course, subscribe and like the video, yada, yada, yada. Let's get on into this game. First period, I don't know, it was kind of crazy. Like, the Jets were moving their feet. They looked pissed off, with how they played against St. Louis. I was expecting a team that was going to come out and, really press the Coyotes, and they certainly did that. Nikolai Ehlers picking up the first goal today here on the breakaway, gets stopped once, but the second time he beats Vejmelka, and that puts the Jets up 1-0 early, and that's something that they just haven't been doing lately. I think Scott Billeck had said that they scored the first goal of the game twice in the last 11 or 12 games, so definitely not ideal. But today, that changes. Nick Ehlers gets the boys rolling, his 9th of the year, and hey, that sets up the next part here. About midway through the first period, Jets up 1-0, they are shorthanded, but then here comes Adam Lowry shorthanded, and you already know what happens when Adam Lowry is shorthanded. Morgan Barron slips it over to him, and the Jets are up 2-0 just like that. So definitely a way better start than they have been starting as of late. Haven't been having to trail, and hey, this was very refreshing. And very happy for Adam Lowry. Morgan Barron, by the way, having another strong game. This is a guy that's really flourished in the last 2 to 3 weeks. So good for Morgan Barron, picking up an assist. The Jets would continue to press. Dylan DeMello even had a breakaway, which is unbelievable. So he had a breakaway, he got stopped, but it would have been pretty cool if he did score. But the Jets controlled the play in the first period. I was feeling great. And I don't know. This has just been so much better than how they usually start the games. So heading into the second is a period where, the Jets typically are pretty good. So I was saying, hey, you know what? If they can continue the success there, we should be looking pretty good. Well, the Coyotes came out and played a fantastic period. And about midway through, it was Barrett Hayton finally getting the Coyotes on the board. They had a ton of shots in that second period. It was kind of annoying, but just peppering Hellebuck. The Coyotes did have a lot of ozone time, but I wouldn't say any of their opportunities were like grade A chances or anything. Of course, like Hayden getting in there, it was a little bit of a greasier one. He's just driving the net. Scheifele could have been a little bit harder on that puck, but at the end of the day, what are you going to do? Coyotes make it 2-1. In a game where, hey, it kind of looked like they were going to come back here a little bit, maybe put the Jets on their heels, but the second period would end with the score of 2-1. So leaving that period wasn't very inspiring. The Jets rarely had it in the ozone, but they started to come to life a little bit at the end of the second period there, so that was nice to see. Heading into the third, it was one of those games where I really didn't know what to expect, but the Jets came through, they shut it down, and they actually had quite a bit of ozone time. It helped that there was a double minor as Nemestikov got his nose split open. That didn't look very good. That happened right in front of me and Zach from the Nolan Hockey Podcast. We were both at that game today, so we were pretty happy for the 4-minute power play. The Jets did not score on the 4-minute power play, and that does suck. We'll talk about that again in just a minute here, but the Jets had a lot of ozone time, were able to keep it out of their zone, and, when they did get hemmed in, really no grade A shots on Connor Hellebuck. And that's how this game would end at the score of 2-1. Not a ton of goals, but just a very nice, for the most part, clean game. I don't think that there was any massive screw-ups by anybody today. No gift goals, no turnovers that led to goals. It was nice to see. It was a nice change of pace. The Jets had some structure in their game today. Could they have gone up by more? Definitely. If the power play can sort itself out in the next couple games, I think that can go a long way to having more success here. Obviously, when you go 0 for 19 on your last 19 power plays, typically isn't, the key to success, we'll say. But yeah, 2-1 Jets. I was pretty happy with it. Connor Hellebuck makes 29 of 30 saves. Karl Vejmelka finally gets solved by the Jets. He looked human today, so that was kind of nice. He's one of those guys that just loves to steal games from the Jets for whatever reason, like dating back to last season. I don't know. I think he was the goalie that had the 50 save shutout. It was 50 or 50 some shots. I can't remember what it was, but Vejmelka just, cursed them. So always a worry when he's in net, but the Jets were able to solve him today. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the game. There's really not a ton to talk about. It was a little bit of a slugfest out there, but overall, I enjoyed it. It was nice to see that it wasn't all over the place and that there was some structure today. So, all in all, can't be too mad about it. A 2-1 win is a 2-1 win. Currently, the Calgary Flames are winning 3-1 against Anaheim at the end of the second period here. So, it does look like the Jets will keep pace and, continue to have that space between them and Calgary, which is nice. Nashville also picking up a win, so this was a very big win for Winnipeg. This was a game that they had to win to keep that space between those two teams trying to chase them, and they did just that today. Good for the Jets today. They came out and they delivered. Big ol' Shine and Star Award today is going to Nikolai Ehlers, who I thought had a really nice game, had a really nice goal to start it off, but just overall, very noticeable player today. So congratulations, Nikolai Ehlers, on your Big ol' Shine and Star Award. There's really not a whole lot to talk about besides that. Big important 2 points. Jets keep pushing. They got 10 games to go here. I think if the Jets go 500, I think they're pretty safe. I don't see Calgary going on a little bit of a run here. As much as I've said they could, I just don't know. I mean, they got clapped 8-2 against the Kings. That's pretty rough, man. They're going to beat the Ducks and, a couple other teams in there, of course, that are just not that great. But you know what? I think for the most part, the Jets are pretty safe if they play like that, how they played in the first period. If they keep playing like that, I don't think that they're going to have a problem making the postseason. Knock on wood. That's me knocking on wood for you guys there. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Not a whole lot else to talk about. Thank you so much for watching. As always, leave a comment down below if you haven't already. Let me know your thoughts about this game. Who was your, big ol' shining star of the game? Love to hear from you guys. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day, everyone. Go Jets, go. Bye-bye.